Hello! I'm Russell,
I'm Patrick.
and we are otherwise known as GastroGays. Most of the time, we're cooking and eating, but by night, we're Eurovision obsessives.
Yes. They're the two things that we could talk about endlessly
All
for
day.
hours.
Yeah.
Food and Eurovision. So this video series is going to be all about Eurovision.
No food. Sometimes drinks,
There'll be drinks
obviously,
every single time.
but sometimes food, but not really. What we're going to do each couple of weeks, couple of days, depending on how the contest pans out, we're going to review, give our opinion about the various different songs that are going to be competing in Stockholm in May 2016.
And the reason why we're doing this is we've long watched Eurovision at home with our friends from behind a TV. But this year will be the first year that we're actually there in person. So we're going to Stockholm for a week in May. So
And we cannot wait.
this is in preparation for it. So we're going to go through each song as they come out every week, and we're going to give our opinions on what we like, what we don't like, and what we think is going to do really well.
Exactly. The great thing about Eurovision is people think it's just a week, the end of middle of May, whenever it is. But it's pretty much the 4 or 5 months leading up to it. At the moment, we have 5 songs that have been confirmed to the competition, and they are Albania, Belarus, Belgium, Ireland, yay, and we're Irish, can't you tell, and Malta. And they have declared the songs, they're available to listen to, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to listen to them and give our 2 cents on them. So, will we begin?
Let's begin.
What one do you want to begin with? Shall we go with
Let's
Albania?
let's go in alphabetical order. And I think also Albania, if I'm correct, was the first to declare
They
this
were
year.
keen. Yeah, end of 2015.
So here is Eneda Tarifa with, excuse this pronunciation, Perale. Let's play.
Parecas. For Spanish. Okay. So
that was
is
Albania.
Albania. My thought initially is that that song is suffering an identity crisis. Because it's a little bit classical, it's a little bit experimental, and then Evanescence comes along halfway through it.
I love it.
Really?
I love it. Yeah, I think it's really contemporary. It's really new. It's really different in a way that I think will translate really well on the Eurovision stage. I think that she's an amazing performer, amazing vocalist, really in control of the song. Now we know from past experience, it's all about the performance on the night.
Absolutely.
And there's always nerves, and you can always tell
Yeah.
that the nerves get to the vocals a bit. So this will be an absolute teller.
And she has a note that she didn't even reach in
Yeah,
this,
there
and this
was
is
one.
the selection show, which is quite interesting. Yeah, I'm not completely convinced on it. It does remind me a little bit of that artist that you particularly like. What's her name? I asked you it today.
Calliope?
Calliope, that's it. I have to think of Calypso, and then I remember. Calliope, who is incidentally competing again this year.
Again, after 4 years.
And if that is the case, isn't she then potentially going directly against each other if they're very similar in style, perhaps?
Well, we don't know
We don't know, yeah.
the song yet.
Because this is Calliope's 3rd time entering the competition, so
Yes.
we'll come to her whenever.
And
the song is
obviously
released.
we're really, really excited to hear
Yeah.
what she has to offer. But Albania, I'm really excited about. I think they're going to do really well. I predict them to be in the final, but not sure. It'll depend on the performance.
Okay. Moving on, it's one of our favourite countries, Belgium. We love Belgium because it's the land of chips.
Chips.
And this is
Chocolate.
there's and chocolate and
Alcohol.
and alcohol and the train goes there.
Yeah.
It's really handy. So this Eurostar Eurovision. Yeah, makes sense. So this is the Belgian entry, which is by Laura.
No last name,
No.
just Laura.
Just Laura. You know, it could be anyone really.
It's called What's the Pressure? So, firstly, I'm not really sure what that means.
Yeah.
So
It sounds like something you'd say in the 90s or something. I don't know. What's the pressure?
anyway, we'll
Yeah.
reserve judgment. So let's.
Because we're not judgmental at all. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is the Belgian entry called What's the Pressure? I loved it. It's really happy. It's really poppy. It's very, very dance along, sing along to. She did ask you to sing along to the lyrics, and I have a feeling that when people hear it for the first time in May in the song contest, they won't know the lyrics at that point. So don't ask that again.
Yeah.
She did have a few bum notes as well.
I don't like it.
Oh god.
I think it sounds like every entry, mostly in 2006, it has that really
Okay.
old Eurovision funk sound in the 2000s that I just think is done. It's dated. It's boring. She's a great performer and she commands the stage really, really well. But I just don't like it.
I think there's a bit to be desired in terms of the performance because, like, she sits on a chair at the very beginning, and that's really it. She just kind of points. She does give good hair at one point because she does a proper
There's a
flick.
lot of flicks.
Lots of flicking. That's wonderful, but it needs to be amped up a little bit. Belgium do have, big shoes to fill. Loic last year came third.
No,
It was third.
fourth
Fourth?
or fifth, because Italy came
Oh,
third,
yeah, that's right.
and Russia came second.
That's
I
right.
think they came fourth or fifth.
Doing-
Oh wait, it was fourth because Australia came fifth.
All right, we're really proving how good we are with our Eurovision knowledge by actually having to Google it because we're doubting ourselves now. But yeah, Loic last year with his great track, it came really, really high up. In fact, it came.
It isn't organised by what came first.
Why isn't it? Where's it gone? There we go. Place. Came fourth. Close enough. Fourth, third. You're not hosting the competition at the end of the day. Rhythm Inside was a really, really good song. Very unique for Belgium to do, especially after Love Kills the Eyes and everything like that.
And it obviously worked last year, so this is a real departure, so I'll be interested to see. I think they will change how it's performed.
Yeah, I hope they do. It's a bit rubbish.
But the
performance-wise.
girl is a great performer, so I'm excited to see what they do.
Absolutely.
For me, I don't know that that's going to get into the final.
Okay.
But we'll see. So now we're on to the next one.
We did try and do it in alphabetical order. That clearly worked because we completely skipped out Belarus.
Poor Belarus!
So I'm just trying to cue it up here, and let's take a listen to it now. So that is Ivan, Help You Fly for Belarus, the 2016 competition. Nice to see that they have found the long-lost member of Hanson at long last.
The fourth one.
Yeah.
Is there four
already?
already?
There's three, I think, yeah.
The fourth one.
So it's nice to see him. And he
was obviously in the woods.
Yeah.
For
Lumberjack.
about 20 years.
Yeah.
What did you think of that one?
What was that? I really didn't like it until the end. The ending kind of built a little bit better. It was a bit more exciting then. It's all a bit monotonous. There doesn't seem to be much range. It doesn't seem to be much going on vocally. It's catchy. You do kind of want to sing along with it. Personally, do not believe that is even going to make it to the final.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
It's a first?
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that. I was literally asleep for the entire thing. It does get a little bit rousing when it gets to the choruses, but the verses are just boring, and
He doesn't seem to be excited.
The way he sings is obviously the way he sings, and that's fine. But for Eurovision, you need to fight for every point that you get, and I don't think that you can just turn up and sing and expect to go far. You have to really give everything that you have, and that, to me,
it just lacked something. I think we can't be too quick to judge because the video that we have previewed is the reprise from the selection show, which happened I think it was last week from the time
it
of
was
recording.
Pretty recent, so this is in the end of January.
Yeah, so we can tell you stuff about the future, but we won't.
So that's
Belarus. Yeah, so we're now back in alphabetical order, and we're going to our favourite country. It's just been unfurled out in the packaging. It's fresh. It's a lovely Irish flag, isn't it? Yay. Yeah. We're going to talk about Britain. No, we're going to talk about Ireland. And this is an interesting entry. We'll talk about the interesting intricacies of the entry.
I think we have a lot to say about Ireland, so let's just play it.
Let's play the song.
We'll talk.
Okay, then we'll talk. So this is Nicky Byrne
with Sunlight. Nicky Byrne,
Sunlight
for Ireland.
Yay! Yeah. Now, before we even get into our opinion about it, autoplay is on. Click that away.
YouTube.
Damn you, YouTube. Just to give you a bit of an insight. So, Nicky Byrne, you may recognise the name. He was a member of Westlife.
Yes.
Very successful Irish boy band. Not our personal cup of tea.
Probably the most.
Yeah.
Successful.
Yeah. Well, it was Bewitched. They were girls.
They weren't a boy band, though.
Yeah, I know. They broke up several years ago. In the meantime, Nicky has done a couple of TV presenting projects. Yes. He's a radio presenter on RTE 2FM every single day.
For the UK viewers, you saw him in Strictly.
Yes.
He actually got pretty far in that, in fairness. I think almost to the final. So
yeah,
he's been keeping his profile up.
And most notably, Eurovision fans, he has given the results out for Ireland for the last couple of years. I think the last 3 years now. So he is a familiar face for it. Now, go back to the fact that he's a presenter on RTE. RTE is the national broadcaster. They are the broadcaster who will send an act to Eurovision. Traditionally, and we're used to it, they have a late night TV show that's on every Friday called The Late Late Show.
It is
interesting.
It's kind of... They choose a song in one portion of a 3-hour-long talk show. So ordinarily, it's not given the provenance it needs.
And that's during the selection show, which they just kind of set aside one night of the year for. And the last, I think, 7 years it's gone through that process. We haven't had any success. We are the most successful nation in Eurovision history. Thankfully, seven times. Yeah. Record holding. We've held it nearly 20 years now since the last time we won. And, we're very, very proud of that in Ireland. The fact that RTE this time decided not to put it into the public's hands and decided to embark on an internal selection process is interesting. If it gets a good song, if it wins the competition, happy days, it's won. The problem is that they went so internal. That
he's on the books, kind of thing.
That, on paper, doesn't sit well with me.
But because he's from Westlife, that's kind of given a free pass under the carpet, I think. So, anyway, it isn't about him so much as it's about the song.
There's elements that will be about him, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But the song, let's talk about the song. Personally, I don't hate it. I don't absolutely love it. But it is the first song that we have sent in a couple of years. Probably since Ryan Dolan. I liked Ryan Dolan's song.
I really did
I just didn't like the performance of it. There's too much Celtic symbols everywhere. There's too much fiddles and bowrons. You don't need that. This is Eurovision. This isn't the Pride of Ireland or anything like that. But I can get behind this song. Yeah. I just think the rhymes are a little bit too obvious sometimes. It's not strong at the beginning, vocally. Mm-hmm. Do you find?
He wrote the lyrics himself.
He had help, though. He had help from someone who writes for Taylor Swift and One Direction, though, allegedly.
It sounds like he wrote it
Okay.
himself.
Oh, you're so
Well,
shady.
The problem is that we saw the video that has the lyrics up,
Yeah.
but even without that, I think I would know, like, okay,
Who wrote
what
this?
are you talking about? But hey,
And there's
it's a good entry.
Yeah, there is a couple of lyrics where it's kind of like, is he just saying words and just putting them together? And yeah.
I don't think it's going to win.
I think it's going to place high though.
It would be good if it places high because I think Ireland deserves to have that chance again.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately RTE need to really change how they choose. I'll be absolutely interested to see how this entry works out. But I think in the future, as we've seen in other countries who adapt talent show formats or The Voice and that kind of thing, you get the fanfare instantly and you get the support of your country, the neighbouring countries online instantly. So it grows.
But by shoving it on a
interest.
Friday night chat show because you have to, doesn't do that in the same sort of way. Interestingly, though, we do say it's terrible that he's on the books and all this type of stuff. Do bear in mind as well, though, Mons Zemelum, and I can never pronounce his name, Mons, last year's winner.
I'm
not good at Swedish. I'm barely even good at English. He was a presenter and is a presenter in Sweden as well. So you can't discount someone in that way for the same reason. If especially we championed Mons last year, we championed his song and we love his song still. And again, he's presenting this year's competition. Yeah. It's not necessarily a bad thing. The song is a little bit too like Heroes, though.
And that is The Kiss of Death.
Yeah. Copying.
That is proven time after time, year after year. If you send a carbon copy of last year's song, it will not do well. It never does.
No. You
need to bring something fresh.
Exactly. Now, who knows? It's gotten people talking. We've shouted on for about 10 minutes about it. You have, the UK press, European press are all quite excited that a former member of Westlife is performing
at Eurovision.
News. It is great. And he's known to the Eurovision audiences. You can guarantee that every commentator, when in whatever language that they're speaking in, will say, now you might recognise Nicky Byrne because he would give them the results before. That might be to our advantage. Who knows? We'll find out in May.
Is this a first, actually, where a spokesperson who's previously appeared then becomes a competitor?
Because normally, a lot of the previous entrants
will then,
that's an interesting one. I'll have to look into it.
We'll
or
keep
if you
an
know,
eye on that
let us know
back.
and comment below, because even though we're total geeks about it, there's little intricacies such as that we're not aware of, so please let us know a little bit more.
Okay, on to the last one.
Oh my God,
we are going to Malta.
Malta!
Which is
on a tab somewhere here. There we go.
So
thank you. Okay, that was Ira Losco and Chameleon
for Malta.
Other than the fact it's very Loreen to an extent.
It did start it, and it has stink of Loreen.
Yeah. I really enjoy that a lot. That is a really, really strong Maltese entry. What's the stats on Malta? It's they've come second quite a number of times.
They are behind Portugal.
Yeah.
And
in terms of years, anyway.
And Iceland, I think. I think the three of them, they are the longest overdue to win.
Yeah.
All three of them have never won. But I think Malta's come the closest. Iceland came second once or twice, maybe. Portugal, I don't think have ever come close.
No.
So it's good to see Malta.
And of course, Portugal isn't in this year's competition.
Sadly. What I thought about it was, yes, I got the Loreen. And then, remember earlier on I said you can tell in the vocals. I don't think this is going to perform well.
Really?
There was a lot of screeching and trying to hit the notes that I don't think that she could hit. Even at that small performance, take that to a huge arena
Yeah.
and have the eyes of the world on you, I
don't reckon
there's always songs that are great, it's fun, it's catchy, it's upbeat, but I just know they're not going to perform well. Now, prove me wrong, please.
Well, that particular performance that we watched was live as well. I thought it was performed.
I'd hope that it was live.
No, as in, like, it was in front of a theatre, as in, it wasn't like a recording like Nicky Burns was, for example. I think this could be a very, very strong year for Malta. There was a lot of talk, this from the time of recording, this was last night when they chose this, and a lot of people within the ESC fan club community seemed very, very happy with this result.
Okay.
Seeing it as very much taking it seriously, taking a real chance in this act, and I think it might maybe not pay off to win, but it is unique enough, it is catchy enough.
Yeah.
I did notice during a small section of it, you know the theme tune that they use throughout the whole competition, like, you know, for the ad breaks and the opening credits and whatever. I did find that a little bit of that song sounded like Austria's sonic imaging, so to speak.
Mm.
Maybe it's a sneaky way of, you know, playing with people's minds. I don't know. I'm probably reading too much into it.
Also, at the point in that song where there's a kind of crescendo and it all comes together, she's not doing anything, or there's no notes, or there's no.
We'll just play a little clip of that here.
Performance trick.
Yeah.
This portion here.
Yeah.
That was underwhelming.
Yeah.
It felt as if it was beginning to build up to something that then it didn't ever get to.
Okay.
So
we'll see.
Again, I'll be interested to see it, but I don't think that's going to get to the final.
Okay. I think we'll get to the final. Whether it gets to the left side of the board is another matter.
Yeah.
So that is the end of our first review. We're going to make it a tradition that we're going to give our 8, 10 and 12 because we don't have time to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we actually don't have enough countries.
And Eurovision hasn't even got time to do 1 to 7.
Barely got time to do 12 as well, but hey. Patrick, what do you think? What are your 8, 10 and 12 for Albania, Belarus, Belgium, Ireland and Malta?
I would give probably 8 to Ireland.
8 points, Irlande.
I'd give, I think, 10 to Belgium.
10 points.
And definitely 12 Albania all the way.
12 points Albania. Well done.
Andy?
Okay, interesting. Mine would be, I would give 8 to Ireland. I don't know whether it's the bias, but I do think it is a good song. So 8 points to Ireland.
Ireland, 8 points.
Thank you. 10 points. I'm going to go with Belgium. I do think it is a very fun entry. It is a very, catchy tune. I think 10 points Belgium.
I'd have thought you would give them 12, but hey.
We won't be doing that. And 12 points go to suspense. It's Malta. I give 12 points to Malta.
Okay.
I think Maltese entry this year is quite different in comparison to the rest of them. Couldn't stand Belarus. Albania, too much of an identity crisis. They are my choices.
Now, let's just clarify that this is literally the first time that we've ever heard these songs. As will every video that we do, it will be the same case. So, opinions change and you grow to like or loathe a song, but the point of this is our first impressions as they come out, so...
Yeah, and I think that's fair. To be completely honest, in previous competitions, we've written blog posts at GastroGays.com saying these are the songs that we absolutely love. And we've actually had to retract halfway through the competition after seeing the performance live because we're so shite, to be honest. The performances in some cases really, really let the song down and let us down and let Europe and the world down. So that might change. bear in mind some of the countries that are still to declare over the next couple of weeks. For certain, there's a couple of countries that are declaring in February, and that's very, vague. But for definite, in the first couple of weeks of February, there's Austria on the 12th, Denmark on the 13th, along with Switzerland.
Then Iceland, Ukraine, Finland, Hungary, Lithuania, Moldova, Norway, Slovenia, and Latvia are all in the same 2-3 days.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long video. You need a G&T for that one. Then you also have to include the top 5 plus the host nation Sweden as well.
So the first of the big 5 that we're going to get confirmation from is Spain.
Yeah, on the 1st of February, so that's like next week or something.
Yeah.
Then it is Italy on the 13th. The 25th is Germany.
Closely followed by the UK on the 26th.
Which we are going to, the selection show. Kind of begrudgingly, it cost nearly £80 for tickets, which is as much as the song contest tickets themselves. But anyway, we want to be there.
Let's talk about that in another one.
Yeah, and Katrina and the Waves is playing there, so
yes.
Yay. And then after that, it's France, March, and then Sweden on the 12th of March at the end of the Melody Festival, which should be quite interesting.
Yes, we're going to try to watch that as much as we can as it happens, so hopefully we'll be able to report on that as well.
So thank you for watching and hearing us warble on about our opinions about Eurovision and the songs that we have so far. If you did enjoy, hit subscribe, comment as well, get in touch with us, tweet us at GastroGays, and we'll have a little chat about it, because we do enjoy having little talks with Eurovision fans. And please forgive us for our pronunciations if you're from any of the respective countries. As Irish people, we barely can pronounce most words. So
yeah, it happens. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next video.
Bye.